Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Also, check out the website Homegrown with G Cole to listen and for all things homegrown. We're also very interactive. Please follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook at MyGCole. And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Remember, be safe, be kind, and be good to each other. My name is G Cole, and this is Homegrown. Hello world, I hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to go ahead and big up all my homegrown listeners out there. Welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We'll be posting new episodes bi-weekly. I want to thank everyone who has been listening and sharing. Please leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Also check out the website homegrownwithgcole.com to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast is now available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all your podcast platforms. We're very interactive, so follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at MyGCole. And this episode is brought to you courtesy of Cloth Talk. Today, my grandpa used to tell me I wear my emotions on my sleeve. He meant it figuratively. I took it literally. Now I'm my own walking billboard. From the minds of Fernaburner comes Cloth Talk, creating your own hieroglyphics. Deep thinker? Let the world know. Fun guy? Let the world know. Just overall grateful? Let the world know. Put your thoughts on fabric. Cloth Talk. Clothing the world, one thought at a time. No, cut. But it's supposed to be clothing the world one shirt at a time, mate. It's one shirt at a time, all right? You can't get it right. And what's up with them bloody crickets? Cloth Talk. Clothing the world, one shirt at a time. It's not great, but it's better than before. It's definitely better than before. Call them up, 954-591-4064, 954-591-4064. Today, special guest in the building, but let me start off with this one. Legendary hits. This is Shantytown from Prince Buster.
Too late, Shantytown gets scanty. Too late, Shantytown gets scanty. Too late, there is no more place to capture. Too late, the people can't do no better. Too late, the rude boys gone to jail. Too late, them can't get no bail. Too late, 7 years in them jail. Too late, the minister put on the pressure. A woman with a baby crying. The same time, all them big bulldozers came in. The cops was standing by. Them backing sticks was long. And all the people could do is stand up and watch them mash them belongs. Baby crying. She says, I got no place to sleep. I got no place to...
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is Shantytown from the legendary Prince Buster, and that one comes from the album What a Hard Man for Dead. Ladies and gentlemen, there are legends in film, there's legends in music, there are legends in the arts, in community, and they're all adored by historians. They're connoisseurs, there are a lot of people, but you know, we have our own congregation that are devoted to the preservation of art, of community and services. But the wider world knows very little sometimes of the contributions of those who have impacted us severely. And when I say they have very little information, they have very little information. There's fandom, there's folklore, there's legends. That's how our history is. A lot of things that are so true come across as fandom, as folklore, as legends, and as stories that our forefathers told. One legendary figure in reggae history that goes, to me, unheralded enough is the legendary Prince Buster. And today, we always get information from somewhere, so you know what? Let's get it from the source. Today to bridge that gap for us, that gap between folklore and truism, is son of the legend Prince Buster, who is creating his own legend, Mr. Danny Buster, a.k.a. Sultan Ali, the son of Prince Buster. Sultan.
Wow. Greetings to you, Mr. G Cole. What an introduction. Wow.
Trust me, we can put it no other way. Peace
and blessings, greetings. I'm happy to be here, of course, Mr. Roy Sweetland. And trust me, beautiful.
Legend in his own right,
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure's all mine.
Pleasure's
all mine. And I got questions and whatever, but we're going straight into that song right there.
All right.
It's a lot, like I always say, we hear the songs, but there's stories behind stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? You were telling me a little bit about that one. Let's tell the masses about that song.
Well, you see, my father, may God rest his soul. Great man. I always say this. My father is charismatic and he's done all these wonderful, great things. But I'm most impressed about my father is courageousness. The music is one thing. Fighting for the downtrodden people.
Yes.
Becoming the voice for the voiceless.
Yes.
And as you're supposed to know, Mr. Sweetman's supposed to know that the sound system tagline was Prince Buster, the first voice of the people.
Yeah.
Now that song simply states my father taking on issues that necessarily affected him personally. But since he was from that part of the town and ghetto and the struggle and everything, and he always said, I'm from the donkey people.
Wow.
He's always becoming the voice for the voiceless. And when they have a problem, he's always Buster. People's always surrounding him, asking him questions, looking assistant from him. Plus, he was a one-man charity organization.
Right.
He's always helping the people because he came from that source and he never forgot his roots. So I respected that, plus his courageousness, love of people, always reaching out financially, otherwise, mentoring, counseling. Trust me.
Wow, amazing. The funny thing about it is, and I love when people, human beings in general, we do the right thing. When we do the courageous thing, but not only do the right thing and a courageous thing, but do it in front of our children.
Yes.
Because we don't know who and how it affects. And if you're doing well, but you have it in secret, right? Yeah. Then your children don't know. And what that does is that normalizes it for them. So now you grow up, and this is not heroism for you. This is the norm, because that's what Pops taught me.
Okay.
I love it.
Case in point.
I love it.
I can take it back to 1968-69.
Right.
When a man called Dr. Walter Rodney just got his PhD from Oxford University. And he came to Jamaica. He was lecturing at Chancellor, I think somewhere in the UWI. And
right.
Prime Minister was that time, the administration was Mr. Shearer, the GLP government.
Right.
And they deemed him persona non grata because he refused to teach that paradigm that economically enslaved the black man.
Right.
And they tried to kick him out of the country. And my father stood up for Dr. Walter. You see, these are the things that touched me.
Right.
I was about 9 years old.
Right.
My father stood up for Dr. Walter. Plus, he made a song heralding Dr. Walter Rodney.
Right.
Hands off Dr. Walter. And I marched with my father, 1969, to the Star with the Black Power movement flag and a whole bunch of people. As a little boy, 9 years old. Can you imagine the impact it had on me? Wow. That was my first taste of activism, so to speak.
Right, in Jamaica.
Wow. So that never left me. So I
see, those are two words that don't normally go together. When you talk about activism, social consciousness, and whatever, we've gone through our struggles. And we always say, our reality is a little different from Black American history and whatever the case may be. But activism was real in Jamaica too.
Trust me.
There's just no when they said a revolution will not be televised,
yes,
it sure as hell wasn't being televised in Jamaica.
It was live because I witnessed it firsthand.
Right.
Jamaica was like, wow. Right. Trust me, Orange Street was on fire. Right. They had the big guango tree across the airport block.
Yeah.
Trust me, that was my first taste of activism, and it has touched me ever since. Like I said, my father did wonderful, great things, but what most impressed me is for you to stand up against an administration.
Right.
holding your own economically, socially, and politically. One man
Against the machine.
taking on a government.
Wow.
Went to the courthouse and fought them illegally. Said to sign down the case
Right.
with the attorney, Mr. Frank Phipps.
Right.
And I went into the courthouse for a little while and just was about to get started. I think the judge or some official told me I was too young to stay in the courthouse. It was a half-year tree. I'll never forget those things.
Wow.
Profound impact on my life. And that's why I have this read. Plus, a friend of mine came to saw my show that day, Mr. Hugh Meikle. Big up to all Casey, man, them Paul Campbell, Hugh Meikle, and
up.
Mark Renaissance. Okay?
Love it.
He said he still called me Donald. Because
When somebody said Donald, you know, they know you.
From school. He said, man, he said, your great performance. He said, you have your father's spirit in you.
Right.
Never met your father, but I can see.
Wow.
So those are things that impacted me. It's in the DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid and everything. So
I love it. I love it.
it.
Amazing thing about stuff like those is, and I visualize stuff. So when you talk, I'm visualizing. I'm just thinking myself, Tuesday, somebody say, yo, so where were you, Danny, where you today? I said, the courthouse. You know what I mean? The other kid was playing some football. That I'm on there play some
That's
cricket.
why I asked
where
him,
were you?
What were you doing in 1968? I remember exactly.
Courthouse.
I marched my father people down to the Star.
Right.
And with the blackboard, the big Panthers. Yeah. You see? So those things that impacted me deeply.
Right.
And I believe in California for some 44 years.
None of that's left you.
No, congressional. Listen, when my friend had a problem, they called me.
Right.
I even going to the courthouse, stood up before the judge,
Right.
put stuff on the record. She got knocked the gavel, Mr. Ali, you're dismissed, blah, blah. Trust me, I was born that way.
That's you.
That's just me.
The fiber.
And there's no putting on.
Life
I
is
stand up for what I believe in.
Wow. You grew up in the tapestry of that kind of thing right now. They were weaving who you are today,
Yes,
back then.
yes.
Whether it was intentional or not. Yo, I love it.
So,
now you're a grown man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? and you have the adult perspective now.
Yes,
How does, because we're talking about when you were a youth,
Yeah.
how does Prince Buster, the man, affect you, the man, today? The man, the artist, the advocate. We're just talking about it
Yeah.
from the vantage point of a young Donald. You know what I mean? Now we're talking about Danny Buster, the man.
Yeah.
Right? How does not the activity that you've been through, but Prince Buster affect who you are?
100%. Because my father was my first hero.
Wow.
You see, when you're coming up from the ghetto, no money,
Right.
no possible lane how to escape the bondages of economical, political, and social slavery.
Right.
And you're spirited enough to say, listen, like my father said, I wanted a record store. I wanted to buy jukeboxes. And those things wasn't privileged to the norm people.
Yes.
You see, my father socialized a lot of different movements and everything, because back those days was one arts and people of economical status. You saw those things. You say, I aspire to do these things. And he went out and did it.
Wow.
And just catapulted. A lot of people said, listen, Buster did it. I can do it too.
Right. The first step.
Yes, because the jukebox business was dominated by not us.
Right.
Buster integrated that business.
Right.
My job as a little boy growing up was to get a whole bunch of keys on my side and go all around Kingston and collect the money. Yes, 246. This was a machine. 246.
So you were part of the business too.
Yes.
From being a youth.
Yes.
Let me tell you
We ran
something.
that business.
Here's what that says to me, because
Pressing the records and everything, labels, trust me, everything.
as a culture, we always talk about other cultures, right? And we always say, well, us, we don't teach our children the business. If you go in the Chinese man restaurant or in business, you see his kids behind the restaurant. Yo, there was a Chinese restaurant up the street, and when I go up there, the person that I deal with, I'm sure school's back in, so I'm probably not gonna deal with her right now, but the person I'm dealing with is 9 years old, right? So later on in life, when they're running that business, it's in their DNA. Culturally, we always assess it and say, that's not us. That's not how we do what we do. Which is another testament to how way ahead of his time, way ahead of his culture, way ahead of his genetics, Prince Buster was.
Well, I love you for that. Let me piggyback on that.
Yeah.
My father told me and my brother Kareem, okay? Him said, look upon the China man. Listen, it's good.
Wow.
When you go to the Beverly's record store, you see a whole bunch of young Chinese folks inside there, different, like stair steps. And you've seen some of them crawl on the ground and they say the Chinaman picked in at the business.
Yeah.
Spend some time in at the business.
You gotta know it.
Trust me, I remember that.
So
And
he's
he say,
thinking that way
yes,
from...
yes. And him say,
Yo.
sell the record. You can't eat the record with gravy. And we had to go play the joke. Listen,
whoa. Repeat that. That's profound. I have to process that. I have to process.
You know everything is sales. You know that.
Yeah.
The doctor is a salesman.
Yeah.
Because the end of the bottom line is plus or minus, a profit or whatever. Okay? The doctor, the lawyer, everybody sells services or goods. Him say, sell the record them. You can't eat it with gravy.
Wow.
See, I remember all those things. So it has a profound effect on me and my psyche.
Wow.
That's what I'm telling you.
Wow.
What he has done for me.
Wow.
I can't even find the adjective to describe it.
Right.
And just for him to be going up and beating Muhammad Ali, bigger than life, and become like this huge, iconic man in Jamaica, socially, politically, economically, not coming from a rich, fundamental background, just an aspiration. I mean, that's inspiring. I spoke to the great Richard Ace. He was one of the number one keyboard player for Coxsone Downbeat before there was a Jackie Me Too.
Right.
I wish I could get him on the phone. He's somewhere in Philly. And he said, listen, he said, me and your father living in the same tenement yard.
Wow.
Your father is the greatest.
Wow.
And I said, why that, Richard? He said, we come from poverty. And it was Buster who showed man in Western Kingston that you can rise up and become somebody and do something positive, as opposed to just hanging around in the corner and begging and blah, blah. He said, Buster is my hero. They should have given your father a state funeral, as per Mr. Richard is.
Right.
The original keyboard for Coxsone. He used to have his own TV show and everything.
Let me apologize to the masses there for a minute, because I had when we started out, I played the song and I had the artwork up, but I got so caught up in what you were saying that I didn't take it down. So so they're just seeing you right now. So Massive Art Crew, my apologies for that. But that's kind of how powerful the words are. Or sometimes it's so prehensile. It holds you in that spot. Yeah. I'm like, I got to remember that. Oh, snap. These people need to see you.
Like a deer in the headlight.
You know what I mean? Literally. Halogen headlights, not the regular stuff.
Okay.
Not the regular stuff. Wow. Let me say wow for a minute first. Prince Buster is credited as being one of the founding fathers of ska music, right?
Definitely so.
Talk to me about, as much as you can, those earlier days, because I'm sure, based on what you're saying right now, he didn't keep anything from you. You saw it all, right? You were on the front page. And that's why I tell parents this. Sometimes we say we're not talking to our kids because they're not listening. Oh, they're listening.
Yeah.
They're listening. Which ultimately means if you're saying BS, they're listening to that too. You know what I'm saying? But talk to me about, as far as you can, the earlier stage, the developmental years of Prince Buster's career.
Wow. Well, my father, he always said that gave his mother credit because she used to take him to the early churches and everything, and his grandmother and everything. So he was inspired with the Bible, the singing, and he had a cousin.
Is that Prince Buster? No, that's your.
That's my original song play.
That's your joint? I like it. Well, we didn't have the track, ladies and gentlemen, but we got it now. We got it now. But it's all good.
Oh, wow. Live radio for you.
Live radio. I love it.
Yeah. He had a cousin back in St. Thomas area. He used to go spend time. I gotta cut it.
We love live recordings. You getting the real, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And we got the uncut. We got the song that you guys don't have, because I got it recorded.
And he had a very wonderful bass voice and everything. So my father was very influenced by that. Plus, he always followed around the drums and everything, going to the churches and the music and school. He's always hanging out at what do you call the place up there in Orange Street? Luke Lane and Drummond Street, where his friends used to come and they play the sticks and the pans. Plus, he was in a dance singing troupe. He's danced like twice a week and perform and everything. So music was always a part of him.
Right.
Plus, let me back up. Even before that, he was like a pugilist, because we didn't choose the name. He had the name Buster because he was born 1938, around the time the Prime Minister Bustamante, Sir Alexander Bustamante. But he got the name Prince as like a pugilist type thing to promote his boxing career. Right. But then he used to box, and then it stemmed off into the music thing. But really and truly, he was like a pugilist and everything.
So he used to box.
Yes. That's how he met Muhammad Ali. Trust me. Wow. And he got me into the boxing fever. I took my gloves to school and punched up a couple of my friends. I mean, my friend Hugh Meeker can testify to that. I told my brother in West Palm Beach.
You got punched up?
So
You see, that's not the story that he wanted you to tell.
we used to box it every time we do like lunchtime and everything, you know, because he was involved, because Ali was the biggest thing in life and everything. So my father wanted to do recordings and everything. Again, he was a poor man. He had aspirations, goals, plus he had friends who were singing along with him. And he tried to go to the studio, get some money, try to produce. But even before that, Coxsone and Duke Reid was like preeminent somewhat before him, because Coxsone was a part of the farm work situation where he went to America and worked for a certain time, then Bell Glades, whatever, and get a certain amount of money back in those days and start buying some rare American rhythm and blues, take back to Jamaica for the sound system. Sometimes they sell it 6-7 times.
The markup
prices and everything.
Yeah, that's still
and Duke Reid likewise. Buster, who was working for them at that time, wanted to do the same thing, but he was lacking a visa. So my father tried to join the farm work
as his way up.
Yes, and
talk about innovation.
Yeah, and then the day when he was supposed to get everything clearance and everything, some official from the farm work industry looked at him and just called him out. I think they probably dropped a dime.
Right. Somebody did.
Called him out.
Yeah.
And look at his hand and say, "These ends are too soft to cocaine," and pulled him out of the line and everything. So he was greatly disappointed, because he really wanted to go there to go get the records like Coxsone was doing.
Yeah.
So he was like very much upset about that. So he had to find another way out. And necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes, it is.
He already started building speaker boxes. He was getting ready to build a sound system. So he went to a place called Baby Grand, to the great legendary Auckland Parks. He used to play like supper club.
Right.
With Stanley Ribs and all them great musicians, and told him his dilemma. Say he wanted to try to go to the farm work, but he was kicked out and everything.
Right.
But he had a sound in his head, and if you guys could work with him, help him along the way,
right, to
create the sound. This was a ska sound. So my father always take off his hat to Mr. Auckland Parks. They call him Drum Bago.
Right.
And if you listen to the song called 10 Commandments, the drum introduction is Mr. Auckland Parks. Wow. And that's where the ska thing started. Because Coxsone and Duke Reid did not believe in the ska.
Right.
Coxsone's number one song was Later for the Gator by Willis Jackson. He called it the Coxsone Hop.
Right.
Duke Reid's song was Hey Hey Mr. Berry.
Right.
Prince Buster entered the sound system era playing his own song.
Which is
They Got to Come. Bad-minded people. So that was the first musical revolution.
Right.
Because he didn't have money to go to America to buy those songs.
Right.
So he had to create something nationally in Jamaica, which was off Jamaica, supported by Jamaica. And at the same time, Coxsone and Duke Reid, because they were like big R&B aficionado, they was comparing rhythm and blues to Buster new sound, which they call Buster boop boop beat. Buster them idiot beat, and the people that follow Buster boop boop. That's why he got the name Boop.
Right. I got you.
See?
I got you. You know what? Speaking of which, because I always read and researched about the so-called rivalry. You know what I mean? Prince Buster, Coxsone, Duke Reid. But of course, they're coming from being friends and partnered. I guess business.
My father was working for them, both of them.
Yeah, and before all that.
Them, yeah.
So when and his sound system was a voice of the people, right?
Prince Buster, the first voice of the people.
First voice of the people. When that rivalry came up, was it personal or was it just strictly music?
Well, I tell you something. He worked with Duke Reid before, then he worked with Coxsone. But remember one thing, Duke Reid was an ex-policeman. He surrounded himself with some
heavy
people. Plus he always had like 2 or 3 guns on him.
Right.
So the most of Western Kingston didn't try to
mess with him.
All right.
Right.
Buster was the only man who challenged Duke Reid.
Buster didn't know what fear was.
What's fear? False evidence appearing real.
Wow.
He challenged him because Buster produced 13 songs for him. Okay? And including Derek Morgan's song Shake a Leg,
right,
Humpty Dumpty, Let George Do It with Rico Rodriguez and the great Lester Sterling. And all 13 songs was a smash.
You know what? Let me drop one for him. Can I drop one?
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Sultan Ali here, but guess what? We got some music for you. So let me drop something for you. Pre this one for a minute. We'll get back. Keep it moving. Keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
I pray that you love me endlessly. I hope that someday you'll marry me. I can't sleep at nights because of you. I'm so much in love, girl, I'm worried over you. Remember when you were just 16 and I was a little boy over 17. We used to play hide and seek. We used to play hide and seek every day of the week. La 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 la. Sweet 16, you promised you'd be my queen. Sweet 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is Walking with Love, and it's from the album She Was a Rough Rider, Prince Buster. Again, we're going through the legends, legendary stuff, and we're sitting down here with a legend in his own right, Mr. Danny Buster, aka Sultan Ali, son of the legend, Prince Buster. We're talking now about ska.
Yes.
We're coming up the lines.
Yeah.
All right, we're trying to do the impossible, which is to have some people catch up a lifetime in a short interview. But it's all good. We're going to attempt it anyway. Music historians would see the ska music and that period of ska prominence is what I call it. Because there was a period, regardless of how we want to look at it right now, like it doesn't exist, there was a period of ska prominence and dominance. They kind of split it up three ways. Mm-hmm. The Jamaican scene of the 1960s and upward. Mm-hmm. What I call the two-tone ska revival, which is the 1970s, the British, you know what I mean?
First and second and third wave.
Yeah, the third is when it goes broad. We're talking about Australia, Japan, South America, and all them things. Were you, at the time when that was happening, were you aware that that's what was going on?
Yes.
Yeah?
Because I tell you what, like I said, we were active in the business in Jamaica, pressing the record, doing the stampers, sending the stuff to my father manager in Buckinghamshire. In England. My father used to he used to make certain records that was released in Jamaica.
Right.
Some straight to Europe. Our job was to take take it down to the store. I mean, the post office, King Street, trust me.
Right.
We call it the stamper.
Right. So you were in the distribution business at its inception too.
Yes. Take it down to the post office, packed it very properly, nice and neat, and send the stamper so his management in England could press on the Blue Beat Records label. Wow. There are certain songs was made just for Europe. Was recorded in Jamaica. Yeah. Case in point, this song called you mentioned Rough Rider earlier. That was a song first done by Eddie Grant.
Right.
And Buster manager Mr. Emil Chalet heard the song and everything. I think the song fit Buster and sent Buster the material, and Buster re-recorded it.
Wow.
It was a smash hit.
Wow. So
you had to send the stamper back now to Mr. Chalet in England, Buckinghamshire.
Was no MP3 files being sent back and forth?
No. Hard stamper.
No Pro Tools.
No. Back then, we walked down King Street, going to the major post office, and we sent it to England so you could press it over there. But it was really made, produced in Jamaica. Nice. And the stampers were cut down there and everything.
Right. Got you. I love it. Now, like I mentioned, they started out Prince Buster, Duke Reed, Coxsone, you know what I mean? But Prince Buster, one of the cornerstones. And again, I love music. So for me, it's not just about, that's why when I talk to an artist, it's very rarely about the music. Because the music is on iTunes, on YouTube, it's somewhere. People gonna find it for free.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the man behind the music. I love it. We talk today a lot about the politics of the music business. Ethics violations, all them things, right? But this is going on way back. We make it sound like it's a modern day thing. And we see a lot of people right now not getting credit for their works and so forth. How do you feel about that from that standpoint back then? People, again, because there's a lot of things he didn't get credit for. And today we see the same thing going on. You know, when most people, do their works. You're creating instrumental. You have people stealing that. You got people creating instrumental and you doing the vocal. They're stealing the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's just a lack of ethics, but it's not new.
Nothing.
It's not new. What's your viewpoint? What's your take on that?
Well, let me back. That's a nice segue. Let me backdrop a little bit. Let's talk about The Harder They Come, the movie.
Wow.
I don't know if I told you that story.
Yeah. I didn't hear, but I'm glad you went to it. Go ahead.
Okay. I
Go
just
ahead.
escaped some point.
Yeah.
That was a Prince Buster intellectual property idea. In them days, Buster was considered to be a subversive, a threat to the establishment in Jamaica.
Right. Anti-machine.
Okay. In
Right.
the early days, he made a song called Reggae. He was like, we had Al Capone in Chicago. There was Reggae. His name was Ivanhoe Martin, and Buster did a scat track towards that. Okay. He made up with Perry Hensel. Perry Hensel was a director. And they start discussing, because I remember I used to come from primary school and see this little stringy hair Caucasian man in the shop talking to my father. They were discussing that. And I'm a little boy. I was going back and forth playing and making noise and everything. But I always see the van park up outside and everything.
Yeah.
So finally they came to some agreement they was going to make the movie. And Buster was supposed to be the star of that movie. This is some unheard of, some truths that's never been spoken publicly.
Right.
And so they agreed and everything. Wrote the script. Buster sent him downtown to the institute to go read up on Ivanhoe Martin, because he had no clue who was Ivanhoe Martin, a.k.a. Reggae.
Right.
He read up on the story and everything. He went down to this man, I think it was the owner of the Time store, Alex Drury, to get the funding to become an executive producer. When he explained to the man about the idea, the concepts of the movie, the man liked the movie and the concept. One thing was like a no-no. The starring. Who will star this movie? When he told Mr. Alex Drury that Prince Buster,
No.
hands off.
Can't use the rebel.
He's a rebel, subversive, or he's already giving us problem.
Yeah. And we don't start filming. How am I going to say action? He might not want to move.
So he had a problem getting the money to do the film and everything.
Right.
He came back to my father and told my father, said, they refuse to back a subversive. You're a threat. You're a threat to the system. You're anti the system, and you can't see he's put his money behind you.
Right.
He said, then he went to England to go sort out some kind of funding. He ran into Chris Blackwell from Island Records.
Right.
At that time, Chris Blackwell had Jimmy Cliff on his roster.
Right.
So he pitched the idea to Blackwell, and Blackwell agreed and everything. Certain conditions and terms and provision has to be met. First thing was that they changed the name of the movie from Reggae now to The Harder They Come. And
Separation.
Yes. And Jimmy Cliff had to be the star of this movie because he's my artist.
Right.
I'm not promoting Prince Buster.
I'm promoting Jimmy.
Jimmy Cliff is on my roster.
I got you.
So
I got you.
that's what some of the untold stories that people don't know about it.
Wow.
But we still got love for brother Jimmy Cliff.
We love
his
it,
name
Jimmy.
was Naeem Bashir. So,
we love it.
Yeah,
We love it.
yeah.
The amazing thing pretty much is this is 19 what? When did Harder They Come out?
in the 70s?
Early 70s, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Because it's over 40 years already.
yeah. But the story, what's going on here, what we're talking about, was taking place in 1970s. Crap's going on in 2018.
Yeah.
The same
thing.
Nothing changed. Evolution is just an hour away from revolution. You know what I mean? It's nothing has changed. The way they do it, pillaging is the same thing. They're just we're gonna pillage a different way. I love it. I love it.
More sophisticated, slicker with the game.
But that same trend continued, when Jimmy Cliff left Ireland, he grabbed Bob Marley. So it was like
It never ends.
yeah, it
Because
was,
Jimmy was their biggest artist. Jimmy was even bigger in Africa before everybody. Trust me.
Yeah. Wow. This business of music. Now we're talking music, but again, we're talking everything. We're talking the life. Let's talk about Prince Buster and the Nation of Islam.
Wow.
Right? That had a profound effect on the man he'd become.
Yes.
And of course, the man you'd become.
Yes.
How did that affiliation with the Nation of Islam come?
Well, he grew up. My grandparents were in the Garveyite business. And just by him born by 1938, at that time, Sir Alexander Bustamante was making a storm in Jamaica. He was born in that time.
Right.
We call it a pregnant, like someone having a baby, woman having a baby, and she's about to give labor. What a break! Something's about to happen.
Something's about to happen. The storm is around. Yeah.
Just like now.
Yeah. Something's
This
about to happen.
This is a pregnant moment right now. We're living again.
Yeah.
So the spirit was inside of him, and the people in the tenement yard said, "Mr. Olive, you have to call him Buster, you know." That was 1938, May 24th, and everything.
Right.
So that's just one of the basic things, you know.
Wow.
Influenced by what's around you, then the God be teaching, and questioning why is it all my people socially, economically at the bottom of the totem pole. Wherever you go, you see our people at the bottom, economically and socially.
And everybody's above.
Everybody above. You know, everybody making progress, and we seem to be lagging behind. You start to have critical thinking, you start to ask questions. And then the Garvey thing influenced him also. Garvey was a black star line to do for self-reliance and everything. But then, again, the boxing thing. Because if you see the picture of Muhammad Ali and my father, they're good pastor brothers. And if you see the picture before,
I did.
My father shorter, you see. So he had an affinity for the boxing, and then he met him, I think, in England, and they just knocked it off. I mean, you just like wow, it's just like
chemistry
was there, the law of attraction. And he just started talking to my father. My father had his own Jamaican experience. Muhammad Ali had Cassius Clay at that time had his own American experience.
Same thing, different location.
Because he went and I think won the Olympics in Montreal and couldn't buy a burger. And that's when he threw away the medal in the river.
What is it worth?
Okay, so they start comparing notes and say, wow, we're experiencing the same thing. I'm in Jamaica, same thing.
Simultaneously.
Come on, there's an important man I want you to meet.
Wow.
And he took my father to meet Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the rest is history.
Wow. As they say. I love it.
And that's why I got the name Ali, because we were Camry. Remember that?
Right.
Ali means most high.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we got to dig. Prince Buster was, again, quite instrumental in tailoring the music, right? The music. And, you know, as we look at it, the music is the vessel.
Yeah.
It's not just a party vibe. Sometimes we got that too, because it's necessary. Sometimes we just got to unload and have a good time. It's not just a party vibe, but his music was very, very socially conscious. All right? And this was even preceding that meeting with the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, as with you, it's in you, it's in your DNA, it's in your fiber. That's who you are. You just need a catalyst to set it off. You know what I mean? There's so many chemicals out there right now that'll be explode and tear on the building, but it's missing one little thing. You know what I mean? The trigger, the spark. Now, that whole Nation of Islam meeting affected him in that way. How did you're growing up in Jamaica? Islam is not popular in Jamaica, right? That's a foreign thing, right? So you grew up in a regular Jamaica. I'm sure if he's going to embrace and take on that life and he's raising his kids, then you're going to be taking on that life too. Definitely. How did that affect you? You're an anomaly right about that. You're a child in Jamaica where we have Christian, 98% are Christian, right? We have some other small denominations here and there, or religions here and there. Rasta take up like a small percentage. And here comes you, the Islamic kid. What was that like? Like?
Well, I went to a primary school. It's basically, I think it's Christian.
Yeah.
My mistake is Anglican. We used to go to church.
Yeah.
And pray at least every day before we went to the classroom, definitely. But you see, when we came home, and especially on Saturdays, we had the meetings. I went to the mosque on Sundays. We used to get the teachings, you know. And my father always take us to the mosque and encourage me and my brother and I to attend the mosque. And something clicked in me also, you know, because I've never forgot those teachings.
Right.
And I'm a grown man now, and I can go right back to the boy, going to the mosque, listen to the FOI, what is the self-defense class, all these stuff. Trust me, Brother Lassell and all them people. So it really had a profound effect, and I'm happy. I am definitely the discipline, great. Just about you be fasting in a certain time of the year, go without food for 16, 17 hours. That takes some serious stuff, trust me.
Wow.
And every year I look forward to doing that. Every year for a whole month.
And you still do?
Yes.
Wow.
That's life.
Wow. It's normal for you.
One meal.
You're missing that, but you're gaining strength at the same time.
Spiritual. You are a spiritual being, brother.
Right.
You see, evolve from the physical, you enter the spiritual realm, but it takes you at least 21 days of constant fasting. Because it takes 21 days to cultivate a habit.
Right.
Whatever you do for 21 days consecutively, it becomes a part of you. After 21 days, you have no pass through the physicality. You have no release yourself from Mother Earth. And your spirit to start to soar now.
Wow.
So at that time, I'm not hungry. I don't want no food, no water. I'm in my spiritual element, which is really you, who you are. Remember this. I live, some people say they live from paycheck to paycheck. I differ. I live from breath to breath.
Wow.
All I have is just inhale,
And
exhale, respiration.
Right,
Okay?
right.
And when you inhale, it's called the spirit. To and from, that's what spirituality is. The ruh, the soul. Without that, you are nothing.
Wow.
So I take that very, very, very serious. Okay? Some folks know the value of that when they're about to lose it.
Right.
See it? And I got this and I got that. No.
Right.
I put it in proper perspective because you don't put your sneakers inside the refrigerator. It's the breath, and I call the breath the mercy.
Right.
It's the mercy. It's a mercy from the Most High just to have this respiration.
Right.
That's ruining the
Which
society.
is life.
Without,
Yeah, I dig it.
what do you have without that? Nothing.
I dig it.
My friend, Mr. Stranger Cole, he always going to say, more life. More. But
Big up yourself, Stranger Cole.
But yeah, big up stranger. But
Big up
most people
Squidly.
are unconscious.
Yeah.
Because they're impressed with the things that's in their face.
Right.
That's why I don't promote education as what they give you now. I promote consciousness.
Right.
To be cognitive, to be aware.
Right, because there's a lot of educated people that are unconscious of what's going on around. Educated fools.
It's just when they get ready to leave, they say, wow, I could have did this way and blah, blah, because you're not really...
After spending all that money.
Yes, you are really programmed.
Yeah.
Like the food.
Yeah.
You're genetically modified. You're socially engineered.
Yeah.
But you don't know that yet.
You don't know until it's too late.
Too late.
Because the truth is, and that's why I was having a conversation with my daughter too, is like, don't get it twisted. Education's a business. Curriculums are created just like food's created. Just like, there's a marketing department. Somebody's strategizing. Okay, it's like when IT was booming. Remember, there's a period of time when everybody was going to an IT class. And there's so many IT schools come into play. And then it phases out. What's next? There's a time when everybody's going to be a lawyer. Everybody's going to law school. Education.
Everybody's going to be a nurse.
Everybody's going to be a nurse.
Overly saturated.
Overly saturated. No, they can't find it. We move on to the next thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about life. It's not just music. It's not just Prince Buster. It's not just Danny Buster. It's not just G Cole. It's life. I love it.
Man,
Now, we credit Prince Buster as one of the founders of ska. You're going to hear me repeat this over and over and over because it needs to resonate.
Yeah.
But he's also one of the founding fathers of Rocksteady.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Rocksteady is pretty much, let me slow down, ska.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And switch it up a little bit, right? We say Alton Ellis and we so forth, but when it comes to Rocksteady, we segment it. We're like Prince Buster, ska, Alton Ellis and so forth, Rocksteady. But truth be told, Prince Buster is one of the founding fathers of Rocksteady. Now, a lot of times when you see music and any other creation, you create this music. From it comes something else. A lot of times,
Derivative.
Exactly. A lot of times we don't embrace the derivative.
Yeah.
Right? How did he embrace Rocksteady?
Oh man, you loved it, man.
You love Rocksteady.
Listen, he got so much great music. And let me say this. Let me say this because people listen around the world. I know what I'm here for. I said it as my performance last Sunday. Prince Buster is Jamaica's first superstar without no apology.
Right.
The world must know that.
In every sense of the
because
word.
I think they got it twisted. He's Jamaica undoubtedly first superstar. And I'm going record today saying this.
Right.
I'm in the courthouse putting on record because I've read a lot of articles, I've seen a lot of interviews where they try to omit my father.
Right.
And they didn't,
That's true.
And they didn't start this business.
Right. Right.
So let me say it again. Prince Buster is undoubtedly Jamaica's first superstar, and I'm going to record it today to say that.
Right. Again, I'm gonna keep repeating it because credit needs to be given where credit is due.
Yes.
All right. A lot of times we look at right now end products or where we are right now. We're prisoners of the moment. As a culture, as a race, as a species, we're prisoners of the moment. We are always caught up in the end product, what it is right now, instead of focusing on the root. And that's why we sway, we vacillate that much, because we're a species that we look at the fruit, ignore the root. You know what I mean? That's why we are where we are. Now, when it comes to musicians, especially great musicians, commercialization is never necessarily the key. We're artists, and true artists, true thespians, and stuff like that. A lot of times we're in it for the art, but truth be told, somebody's in it for the business.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And somebody's always reaping those rewards, and so forth and so forth.
Well, Sam Cooke said it beautifully. Show business.
Show business.
Sam Cooke is a teacher in my book.
And once you separate them, then you start getting screwed. You know what I mean? We got to keep them together. I'm gonna drop a tune right now, right? And I drop it because when I talk, I was dropping off my daughter to college this morning. I was dropping her off, and I said, "Listen to this song. Tell me if you've heard it before." When she's amongst her peers, she's a weirdo because these young kids only know the new music. She's playing D Brown, she's playing this, she's playing that. But I played this song. I said, "Have you ever heard this song before?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Who sings the song?" She doesn't know that. "Where'd you hear the song?" I said, "I have no idea." I'm gonna drop it for the masses. But where she knew it from subconsciously was from the Corona commercial, the Hopeton Lewis version of this song. So I'm gonna drop this right now. I will come back and talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the song's called "Take It Easy." Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Champs-Élysées, no need to worry, no, 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 no. Champs-Élysées, no need to hurry, no, 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 no. No slipping, no sliding, no bumping, no boring. I walk right into Le Bourget. I stopped my plane and gave hurry. My chérie, no need to hurry. No, 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 no. My chérie, no need to worry. No, 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 no. Champs-Élysées, no need to hurry, no, 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 no. My chérie, no need to hurry, Monsieur. Champs-Élysées, no need to hurry, Mademoiselle. No slipping, no sliding, no bumping, no boring. I walk right into Le Bourget.
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is "Take It Easy," and that one is Prince Buster. A lot of people don't know, because again, we're just talking about commercialization, and this is the thing about, I'm gonna say, reggae music, ska, and so forth. But when I say reggae music, it's more broad. So let's say reggae music, which covers ska, rocksteady, everything. We take, a lot of times we take the purest approach. You know what I mean? So it's like we sit down and we only adore the less commercial, what we'd like to refer to as the underground and so forth. But this song was brought to a total different audience by that Corona commercial. And the song was redone by Hopeton Lewis. But of course, it's the Prince Buster creation. And when I say redone, here's the thing about redoing music. When somebody redoes a song and changes it none, that shows you the testament of the song. Because for the most part, if you're going to cover a song, you're going to make your changes. You're going to do your thing. You're going to put your Sultan Ali on it.
Put you in there.
But if it's stamped a certain way, you can't do nothing. All you got to do is just re-sing it. All right?
But I think this song, if I'm not mistaken, was originally done by Hopeton, if I'm not sure.
So Hopeton's came out before Prince Buster?
I want to think like that because Buster took it to Europe you see, we did it because it was a smash hit in Jamaica. And like I said, his management did that compilation. And this song is known throughout Europe massively.
Yeah.
It's a chance at least he's talking about France.
Right.
You see? Because
Right.
we're touring Europe and everything. Yeah.
I stand corrected because that's the thing about it is that I love the Hope and Lewis. I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love the version, but this version resonates with me. And have you ever heard a cover of a song and you're so convinced it's the original just based on the sound of it?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
And that's the
Make it
thing
feel.
with this song right now.
Yeah.
It has that original
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
I dig it.
That's why he recorded on account of his management. Mr. Emile Chalet Bluebeat did that special compilation.
Right.
That was done in Europe.
I love it.
On the Bluebeat record label, everything. Melodious music, yeah.
Trust me, it's a beautiful piece, a beautiful piece. Now, today, all right, we've spent some time in yesteryear. We were coming today. We'll go back to. I see Jamaican reggae artists, right? They drop every now and then a one ska influence. I'm not gonna say ska song. Even my band, we have a ska influenced song.
Good.
Right? But only non-Jamaicans will do a full ska album. Only non-Jamaican bands will call themselves a ska band. Some people might have an issue with that. I appreciate it so much because that's one, they're paying homage. Two, they're taking it somewhere where it wasn't before.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why is it that they see the value and embrace it way more than we do?
Sometimes you take some friends, people, children to the forest and they see the trees. But the tree lies within the forest. And sometimes it's just like your daughter. She might, that's just my dad might take it for granted.
Right.
Ska been around so long, and then what's new, what's this, what's that, and people want to see something different, want to hear something different. Nothing wrong with that because I believe in creativity and growth and development, but the fundamental structural foundation of a house has to be solid.
Right.
So sometimes they get carried away and they go over here, over there, and then the people from another country are watching you and say, oh, them stop play ska, you know.
We can't take it.
And just take time, tiptoe in. Yeah, and just
Go on with it.
go on with it. And by the time you know it, it's over. So
Yeah.
I want to say, wow, and it start to blow up. But am I thing?
Yeah.
One man garbage is another man's treasure.
Yep.
That's why when it comes to music, I don't deem no such thing as bad music.
Right.
Trust me, it probably is not properly recorded, but I always see the potential in the song.
Right.
Case
Either
of-
for you or not for you,
Yeah,
but it ain't bad.
yeah. Case
Yeah.
in point, Tina Turner did not like the song. What love got to do with it?
Yep.
The producers had to force her to do it, okay?
that song.
Because it wasn't a typical rock. And to this day, that's the biggest song she has ever done.
And that's happened to so many major artists.
With a reggae flavor type tinge.
Yeah.
The whole is bam. You see what I'm saying? So you always got to be come outside yourself, because even when I create stuff, I got a basic idea, but I'm always open to the universe because there's a celestial vibration that hits me like today. I don't know what I'm going to tell you and everything, but I'm ready and I'm open.
Right.
And I was attract and draw stuff onto me and everything.
Yeah.
Ska, there are more ska bands in the world than reggae bands.
Yeah. Successful.
Yes, and every minute, I should say, every breath you breathe, there's some young youngsters who is aspiring to start a ska band. To start a ska band. There are over the last time I checked, it was over 2,000. And that's about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
There are more.
Right,
and
right.
popping up all around the world. I just got back from Mexico with a 30-piece orchestra. At the press conference, trust me,
Yeah.
they can't speak a word of English,
Right.
but they know the music.
They got that ska.
Ska. With the orchestra, almost sweet. Trust me.
Are we ever gonna? And it's not a take back. Are we ever gonna be able to do with ska what we're supposed to?
They
do
better
with it?
wake up, because I can tell you the case in point. When I was studying at UCLA, my agent called me to go on a movie set in Glendale, California. I drove over there and everything. And after a break to get some food, I'm walking to go to the canteen, the mobile canteen. I saw a man in the bushes sitting in a director's chair reading a script, maybe 200 yards off, whatever. And as I come closer and closer, I was like, wow, that's Harry Belafonte.
Wow.
And I was so surprised. I knew it was in the movie. And I walked over to Mr. Belafonte and introduced myself and started talking to him and told him who I was. And that man told me something. This was done in 1995. And as I quote, he said, ska music is the best music that ever came out of Jamaica. End of quote. As per Harry Belafonte. And why he's a man of good standard, respected reputation. He is the first man, whether they know it or not, to sell 1 million records in America. Did you know that?
Right. I read of it. Yeah.
Beat out Frank Sinatra,
Yeah.
Paul Uncle, all of them. First man, that Deo song was a million seller in history in America.
And still continues.
Right. Okay. And when once he told me that, trust me, and it shouldn't be a surprise because his parents are Jamaicans.
Right.
You see? That's why he got the Banana Boat song and everything. You see? Another case again. I was at House of Blues watching Scatterlights play one night, enjoying myself, and there was tight like a sardine cat, tight in West Hollywood. And this man behind me, he was just jumping and kicking, and when the music hit him, he was just acting all with his hands and gestures and screaming.
Right.
And I turned around after about 10, 20 minutes of that, tell him take it easy.
Right.
And when I turned around to look and I saw him, I was like, you know who that man was?
Who?
Paul Schaefer, the band leader.
Wow.
David Letterman
Yeah. I
show.
know who you're talking about. Ballhead. Yeah. Wow.
He was like a groupie.
Right.
Look at Brevet.
Appreciating.
He's on TV.
And that's a
he's on
trained-
TV every night on the number one show. Scam music, he was like a groupie.
Right,
By the time I went to the green room, he beat me to the green room.
Wow.
Talking to Tommy McCook.
Right.
Trust me.
Plus, they're gonna let him in.
Yeah.
So he know.
Scam music is no joke music.
Wow. Big up Paul Ship. Listen, we don't appreciate, and it's not. It's a culture thing too, because I always say to others, our culture is something that we haven't built the brand on. We talk about one love and Jamaica and the postcard and about Marley song, one love, one. But the truth is, there's a cultural decline in the value. Look at it from the standpoint of if you're located in Arizona, if you're located in somewhere far in the U.S., and you decide, okay, I need to get a flight to go to Hawaii, I need to get a flight to go to Jamaica. Similar circumstances, different but similar circumstances, and the cost of the Hawaii flight is really expensive. The cost of the Jamaica flight is really expensive. You kind of have them. Why am I paying that much to go to Jamaica? It's the same thing about the food too. You know what I mean? You take your lady out to a restaurant. If you go into the French restaurant and the tab comes to $150, $160, $200, you pay it and you come out, right? But you go into a Jamaican restaurant, you get the best steamed fish you ever get in your life, and the receipt comes to $60. You're like, some steamed fish and money. You know what I mean? We are depleting the value of the culture, and it starts with the music, because at the end of the day, the music is the most potent thing that we have to offer. Yeah. Our food, our culture, our athleticism, our everything is great, but the music
is the ambassador forerunner.
It is.
Set the pace and everything. Yes.
When I go to places in the world where people barely speak the language, if they're not familiar with anything, they're familiar with the music.
Yes.
And it ain't just Bob. I'm talking about the music. I remember in 2001, 2002, I was in Barcelona, downtown Barcelona.
Spain, yeah.
And at the time, they had the Virgin record store.
Yeah.
Skyscraper.
Mega store in Hollywood. Mega store in Hollywood, too. I remember that.
There was a poster of an artist that if the building was 150 stories, and I might be overdoing it, then the poster was about 50 stories, like 1/3 of the building. Dropped down the side of the building, right?
I saw it with Ali, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad, that's the kind of people who are normally on that.
I saw that in Hollywood. Muhammad Ali. That was great.
You know who was on that poster?
Wow.
Beanie Man. Many Moods of Moses. I'm in Spain now, right? At the time, we're talking about, it could have been Enrique Iglesias.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Beanie Man.
Wow.
So I say that to say, this music will reach where nothing
else. It's an international language. It has no borders.
None whatsoever. Very fluid, very liquid, and it's going to go where it's supposed to go.
It's going to find its way.
I love it. Now, again, we're in today, right? And we're talking about this, the non-Jamaican bands that are doing the scam music. There's either, let me see, bands of the, because I've performed at venues where the bands are doing scam music, but I'm talking about bands like the English Beat.
Wow.
The Beat, they go by the English Beat, and they're popular. And then the band Madness,
the specialist selectors, all of them.
Those are the people who are doing it to the point where it almost feels abandoned by us,
Yes.
right? But it is the head cornerstone
Yeah.
of reggae music. Talk to me about, I know you have a story about that band, Madness. Talk to me about Madness and their affiliation with Prince Buster.
Oh, wow. Prince Buster, I mean, they show him the utmost respect, I should say. Suggs is a band leader. And Mr. Thompson. Buster music totally influenced them. I've watched that man literally bow his knees on the stage performers and kiss my father's hand and everything. Because Buster's song, my father's song, Madness, that's where they got their name.
Right.
That was their first hit single.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it took off like lightning rod. These people they're bigger than life now. When they came to my school, UCLA, years ago, it was like a regular little band. I heard about them and I went to see them and everything. I said, okay. But now they're gone through the roof.
Wow.
Trust me, they travel all around the world. It's like almost like they're coming just right behind the Rolling Stones. That's how big they are.
Right.
And they're the only group that ever performed on top of the Buckingham Palace.
On the top.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking for the talk's sake. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go check it out because I've seen it myself.
Yes, I'm telling you. And he always said, bless up Prince. He was in Hyde Park performing. And when my father passed, he gave my father a lot of respect and everything. And he said, God bless her, Prince Buster. Prince Buster gave us our name, first record, the title of the song and everything. And he said, God bless her, Prince Buster. And it's up basically about 120 something. It's a massive amount of people.
Let me do this because sometimes when we say things, you know, especially in this political climate where people tell us about them, the inauguration crowd is large. Yeah. So in this climate, sometimes when we say things, people think we're sensationalizing the thing.
Yeah.
Let me drop something for the masses real quick. Just it's a quick clip. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing you into the world. All right. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at this right here as we talk about Madness and all that stuff that's going on. There's a video clip that I have that I was telling you about that we have from when they're doing, and we're getting everything synced up right now. That from when they're actually the same thing you just spoke about, when they're giving credit, when they're giving credence to Prince Buster. I'm gonna tell you, say I love it. As I get the thing queued up, I'm gonna drop another song for them. All right, this one is called Freezing Up Orange Street, and we'll come back and talk about this one. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Ladies and gentlemen, that one is called Freezing Up Orange Street. That one is Prince Buster, and that's why we got to know the heritage and stuff, because I just heard like about 4, 5, 6 different joints that can tell you song with sample from that. But talk to me about that song.
That's a standard. It's a Rocksteady standard classic, man.
Yeah.
I sing that song in my repertoire, it's always my number 4 songs in my repertoire and everything. Beautiful, wonderful song. He has immortalized Orange Street. There's a group called himself in England now, in Europe, Orange Street.
Orange Street.
And when you listen to the tenors, Pressure and Slide, you hear it. Mr.
Yes.
DC
Mr. DC, yep.
with what's his name? Just passed.
Sugar
Minor.
yeah.
When you listen to Barry Salmon, What One Dance Can Do.
Yeah. And that's the thing, as I'm listening to it, like I said, I'm just hearing these songs. I'm like, you know, I feel like sometimes I have this Manhattan CD with about 14 tracks, right?
Wow.
And when I listen to the 14 tracks, I've probably heard 30 hip hop songs.
All right.
That was sampled
All
from
right.
that.
All right.
So that's kind of what I was feeling when I'm
Yeah.
listening to it. All the songs are coming back to me that came from. And a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to realize that. Let me touch that little video clip that I'd mentioned earlier for the masses.
Prince Buster died 2 days ago, right? And it was like that joke from Monty Python's. It's like, what did he ever do for us, right? Prince Buster. He gave us our name. He gave us our first hit. He gave us our album title, One Step Beyond. God bless Prince Buster.
Look at people, man.
You see that crowd?
Wow. Hyde Park, massive.
You see that crowd?
Massive.
Ladies and gentlemen, so like I tell them all the time, we're not talking for toxic. You know what I mean? This is legend. This is truth. This is what happened.
There's time to go to the history books. It's there.
Trust me.
Definitely. And you can't fool European people. They know the truth.
The record is there.
They
The record
know.
is there. It's a lot of times, amazingly enough, is like other people from us know so much about our culture, so much more than we do.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many people who've seen so many parts of Jamaica than Jamaicans have.
Trust me, yeah.
You know? It's
Case in
amazing.
point again, good segue. They gave my father a star at the Two-Tone Museum.
Right?
Because I spent 2 weeks in England, and I was there for 2 weeks at Coventry, and was invited down for the star unveiling and everything. When I was there, this man, Caucasian man, came from out of nowhere and whispered in my ears, Sultan Ali, you have 5 generations in your family. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm turning around.
Like, who is?
Don't know this man.
This is it's in the UK?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and then I thought about what he said. What would be so important for this man to study my genealogy, my lineage?
That you now
to come tell me that I have 5 generations.
Yeah.
And when you think about my grandma and my father up to me and my children, it's really 5 generations.
Wow.
At the Alis.
Wow. Did you communicate with him after that, or was just
Yes. No, we spoke because he was a friend of mine on Facebook and everything. Okay? That was so much he's into my father. He knows about my grandmother and my grandfather.
Right.
And he summed it up. That means he did his homework thoroughly.
Right.
This lady came 91 miles just to meet me, just to shake my hand.
Right.
People flew in from Greece to meet me just to take a photo up.
Right.
Crying, said they love what I'm doing because when I saw you on stage, your father's not dead. I see your father and you. It was touching. It was really touching.
You and it's amazing. You might not even thought about it then, but you were being groomed by your father from then to carry on. You know what I mean? Your brother does music too.
Yeah.
But he's not doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, you're both doing music.
Well, let me tell you what I must give my grandmother, my matriarchal grandmother, some respect right now, because again, truth be told,
right?
My mother's mother. She told me something since I was a baby boy. It was there, but as you get more mature and understand life itself from a grown perspective,
right?
I call it growth and development, you start to see the tangibility of her verbiage.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
She always said this to me, and I must speak it in her colloquial patois because she was from Clarendon, Mocha.
Big up Clarendon.
Yes, man. All the Browns, them, my grandmother family, on my mother's side, the matriarchal side.
Yeah.
Because my name was Donald, they call me Danny. She said, Danny, are you? From the day you born, your poopa never for call England and ask him mama for a teaspoon of sugar.
Wow.
No, there's some pointing words. And when I see what I'm doing, I'm touring the world and keeping the name going and doing all this work myself. My grandma
told you this years ago.
I'm talking about the 1-room days. Wow. The tenement here. Listen, I'm coming from humble beginnings.
Wow.
With a chimney under the bed.
Yeah.
Are you old enough to understand that? I know you know. Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from. And she said that from day one, from Jump Street.
Yeah.
My grandmother she was not literate, could not read nor write by academic standards.
Right.
She was divinely inspired to tell us to her grandson, Danny Ayo.
Right. This is bigger than you.
This is not my father said my mother.
It's your grandma.
My grandmother.
Your matriarchal grandma.
Yes, because my grandmother used to have do a little entrepreneurial stuff on Beeson Street and Charles Street. Okay? Neesbury, Wildcan, Rosecan, Coconut. Yeah? Okay. So my father's little boy used to pass my grandmother on the way with his friends.
Yeah.
My grandmother knew my father before my mother met him.
Wow.
Trust me. Yes.
Wow.
There's a machine. My grandmother, church, she's my first teacher.
Yeah.
And I got a banner that's made in California. I put it up. She's my first teacher.
Yeah.
And I didn't spell it E-R. I spelled it like a teacher.
Yeah.
With an exclamation sign.
Yeah.
Give her respect for
Stamp
her
that.
patois. Yes, stamp that. So,
Yeah.
okay. So my mother was going to become a seamstress. My grandmother wanted to become, we said, dressmaker. She bought a machine. She struggled and bought a machine and what we say, truss back in those days.
Right.
Remember the word truss.
Credit.
All right. Little by little, every week.
Yeah.
Until she finally paid off.
Yeah.
That machine is older than I am.
Right.
A singer.
Yeah.
And as a little boy, I used to go play with the presser foot and get.
I know the machine you talk about.
Get
Yeah.
my finger out busted sometime. She
Yeah.
said, come off of the machine. She said, Danny, that machine is older than you. I bought it for your mother. Wow. And on her way to become a seamstress, she met my father at Charles Street and Luke Lane Corner. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Now we have
Here come this big-head boy called Danny. See? So, it's going to be some serious story when I start writing the script.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yo, let me tell you something. Memoirs. There's a book in this. There's some publisher right now that's gonna reach out because the story's got to be told. You know what I mean? The story's got to be told, and it's not something we could capture in any hour and change interview.
It's
or whatever.
It's a life story.
You know what I mean? So some publisher are gonna have to reach out. We're gonna have to get it.
Her name was El Seda Brown, and the older folks call her Seda. We call her Granny.
Right.
She was the woman who used to cook for my father dances.
Yeah.
Mr. Sweetland might know about that.
Yeah.
Farsazal, Jubilee, Chocomolan, all them dances with sound system. You see, I live with my grandmother.
Yeah.
Didn't have a babysitter.
Yeah.
What that means, anywhere she go,
You go.
all right. Okay.
And I talk about being at the feet of your grandparents all the time, where the fountain of wisdom lies.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? I got a project coming up, man. Trust me,
man.
Grandparents.
I tell it, Danny, are you from the day you born, your poopa never call England and ask him, Mama, for your teaspoon. I said it on stage in England.
Wow.
That woman is so profound, and trust me.
And you remember that verbatim.
Come on, she keep on often repeating. Oh,
Same way.
She rip. My granny didn't play. She ribbed that in my head.
Wow.
My granny have a very powerful impact on my life.
Yeah. Big up grandparents, man.
Because she took me to school. Trust me, man.
Yeah. Grandparents are
Sometime in the morning time, I'm going to school. Danny, come, you gotta leave right now. You can't get the clock news sketch. You mean the BBC at the clock?
Yeah.
Oh man, my grandmother would be getting me together, get my sister together. You talking about multitasking?
Yeah. Granny got it.
She's cooking.
Yeah.
Whatever the food for us to eat, and she's making the hot tea, and she's using 2 cups to cool it.
Cool it. Yeah.
Oh man, and she's plaiting my sisters here and put
Yeah. Oh, and nobody late for school.
ultimate respect. Ultimate, and I will never stop talking about that woman. Profound.
Big up grandma.
Profound. And
Grandparents.
she used to pre-cook her curry goat. Listen. My father sent the big truck with the big speakers, them, the sound system now. So I could pick up Cedar Rosedale, 20th Rosedale.
Right.
Coming there with my brother, me and Kareem coming at the same time with her.
Yeah.
We had to jump up and speaker box them between the horn sometime in the front.
Yeah.
And she have the pre-cooked curry goat and the manish water to take to the dance.
In the truck.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
And the big house of joy, big W18
Yeah.
speakers them.
Yeah.
And she finish her cooking. By the time dance with the no she have our white rice and our curry goat and our manish water.
Boom.
Trust me.
Boom. Grandma running an operation up in there.
Come on, man. I said it's in the Gleaner. I had an interview in the Gleaner explaining. My job in the music business, firstly, was to walk around the dance hall, especially the Farces hall, and pick up the empty red stripe D&G bottles so my father could recycle for the upcoming dance.
Wow.
And it was told to me by my grandmother.
Yeah.
She gave me that directives.
Right.
Again.
Right.
L. Seda Brown.
That in itself is a business, is teaching your business
Yeah,
at a
man,
young age.
she was an entrepreneur.
Wow.
From day one.
Grandma got it locked.
And credit must be given because she was right there from Prince Buster Humble days. She was right there.
Right.
My father got sick. She used to cook cold food. Trust me.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If you haven't had the opportunity and your grandparents are still around, have the conversation.
You better spend some time with them.
If it's even just sit down by their feet and just listen.
That's what you got to do.
Listen.
That's
you know
what
what I
you
mean?
got to do. That woman is something else.
Much love to grandparents.
What about
Now,
respect?
when we think of Jamaica itself, and the views are expressed by G. Cole does not represent those of Danny Buster. I don't want him to my team. You know what I mean? But when I think of Jamaica itself, I think Jamaica didn't do a good job of promoting ska. And I'm saying Jamaica because it's not just it's government, it's radio, it's the people, it's us. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on JBC FM,
Yeah.
RJR,
Yeah.
Fame FM,
Yeah.
eventually Irie FM,
Yeah.
right? None of those stations played ska. And if they did, it was in some little tiny segment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you just have to be lucky or fortunate to be listening at the time to hear something like that. So truthfully,
It was not formative.
it wasn't formative. And I can't even blame the youth for not knowing much about ska.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's a gap.
What responsibility, because we talk in this day and age, Roy and I speak about it sometimes too, in terms of this music, our culture, you know, the youth, and with the help of the internet, stuff like that, they're trying to spread it as fast and as far and wide as they can. But the propulsion should actually come from government. You know, where are we dropping the ball? What responsibility is it of us as a culture? I want to say a culture, so we're bringing it to the doorsteps of government to get this music out there. What do you think?
Well, again, you see, the government, these people sometimes is economically viable because just like you got to go out there and prove yourself. Some people, they don't really take chances. And because Jamaica is not so economically viable, they seem to think that the basic necessity, food, shelter, and clothing, okay?
That's it.
They tend to be in that little box. But that's good and dandy. I respect that also. But one has to have soul. One has to have a vision. Where there are no vision, people what? Perish. Okay? So irrespective of just having these stuff, which I respect and everything, the basic necessity of life, you have to soar and have a vision. That's what Buster had. He had no money.
Right.
He didn't come from no rich family.
Right.
He'll tell you straight up, I came from the donkey people.
Right.
Okay? But he had aspirations and goal.
Right.
And just because he had charisma too, and plus the universal law was with him. He was born for that mission.
Right. Preordained.
Just like what my grandmother told me. He was born to do what he did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing that he understood his calling and he jumped on it right away. So because some people procrastinate and some people find every which way why they can't as opposed to one way why they can.
They can do
You
it,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the glass is always half empty. And I personally see the glass as half full.
Right.
It's a perception.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And as a man thinking, so is his quantum physics.
Yep.
So he had that and he jumped at it and he catapulted and he persevered. He has struggles. You're going to have struggles because man were made to struggle. But you must strive.
Yes.
And he strive and he strove and all the way up to the tops and everything. So it's after now he become a celebrity now, start traveling the world, start buying nice cars, start having a 3-story building on Charles Street. People start saying, wow.
Right.
Is this little bus that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, neurons started firing people's head. Same thing with the jukebox thing, because no black man had jukebox before Prince Buster, basically. That was reserved for the upper echelon of people.
Yeah.
He integrated that also again.
We don't own nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's after you start making people try to get involved again. Some people like to piggyback. Some people are opportunists. Some people don't want to take the risk, but they want to reap the benefit.
Right.
They don't sow, but they want to reap.
Right.
So I don't think I even basically wait on government because who are the really government? Think about the word called government. I studied political science when I was in college and law. What the government? The government is by the people, of the people, and for the people.
Supposed to.
Those people that are in the office, they work for you.
Yeah.
You see? Our job is to hold their feet to the fire.
Hold them accountable.
But they have flipped the script. I'm making that you work for them. No.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And that's why Buster did what he did even with the politicians in Jamaica. They didn't flip him. He knew what he held his own against the prime minister and against all the rest of them.
Garveyism at his finest.
He was a self-made man, and like I said, all of his great contribution, achievement, the way he stood up against the government in Jamaica for the downtrodden and held his own, that's the most impressive up to this day in my life.
Wow.
And that's gave me the same thing. So I think one should step out because remember, not everybody are leaders.
True.
Everybody can't be leaders.
True.
There are leading blacks and there are black leaders.
Right,
there are real leaders and there are pseudo leaders and everything. So if you're really with a vision, and I don't necessarily think that leaders are taught in school. I think you're born a leader.
Right. You either have it or you don't.
You go to school and it's something you find and say, oh, I got this happening. This potential aptitude.
Develop what I got.
But you are born innately by the Most High, divine inspiration and everything. That's what Busta had again.
Right.
For him to pull off what he did in Kingston back in those early days, trust me, it was unheard of, unprecedented.
Wow.
Like Richard has said, he's the first man on the corner to show black men so you can stop being an idol on the corner, step up and do something with your life.
Right.
He said, Richard just said, he's my hero.
Right.
Because he did it. We don't know how he did it, but he did it.
But he did it. He found a way.
Okay?
Innovation.
Had a better car than even the Prime Minister sharing in Jamaica. A big car. I mean, what? You see, these things are possible.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I love talking to people like yourself. Because a lot of times, you are the eyes, from when he was alive to when he was not. So from your mouth comes the true stories. Yeah. And that's exactly what we want. Again, we need to start. It's almost like school where they're taking certain things out of school. We need to put certain music back on the forefront.
Well, it's coming full circle because my job, I told him, personally, I'm looking forward to go to Jamaica, do some stuff in Jamaica. My job is to bring, because there's a generation gap. You must understand, it says about a generation is basically 20 years. Right. And I think there's about 2 generation gap, especially in Jamaica. So there's 2 generations, 40 years that need to be connected. Made up. You see? So my job is to push it out there and promote and everything. Right. And especially in Jamaica, because I'm not even worried about the world. I'm even focusing even on Jamaica because the people in the world have it. Ska is world music. Yeah. Trust me.
We need to get...
You see Richard Stevens, he called me in Los Angeles and told me how he got into
Big up Richard Stevens too.
Big up, yeah. Oh, he got into Ska. He went to Germany to speak to, what's his name? Gentleman. Yeah. And went on a show with him. I saw 120-something thousand people jumping to the Ska. Bam! The new one started to fire. Richie had never been the same since. So he just says that you gotta see.
That's our music. And we're going, isn't that ironic though? That I gotta go away to see home. I gotta go abroad to see what's local. That is ridiculous.
That's
profoundly ridiculous.
Yes, and it's been touching to say, I said, listen, that's the root. I told him again, Ska in my concept is an house. I'm in your house right now. I can go to the bathroom. I can go to the kitchen. I can go to the den. I can go to the garage. Well, Ska is the house. The house of Ska. I can walk into the Rocksteady department if I choose to. I can go into the reggae department if I choose to. If I go into the dancehall department. Yeah. Even the mental, because Ska is an eclectic music form. It has all the musical element, or it's come like we'll say seasoned rice. Right. Or people that say gumbo.
Yeah.
It's an eclectic. Everything is within the Ska.
Right.
Jazz, R&B, gospel, everything is in the Ska.
Ska's the head cornerstone. All right. And we can't forget
the
that.
The capstone of the pyramid.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we just want to bring in the info because the information needs to be, we need to bring it to the forefront. Now, at the end of the day, for all the ears that are plugged into Reggae in 2018, right? Drop me something what you want them to know, understand, and appreciate about Prince Busta.
Well, let me say this right now. Prince Busta was the first producer to go up in Warwick Hills and bring out the Rastafarian community, I should say, Count Ozzy, and took him to the recording studio up there in JBC. And as a result, a song came to be called "O Carolina." It's the first song for the Rastafari.
Redone over and over.
And that's what made Shaggy famous.
Yes.
When I used to go to parties in Jamaica, back in the early 70s, up in West Greytown Circle and Hope Pastures and Stony Hills, at a certain time of the night, they used to play that song called "O Carolina."
Right.
Okay? And we used to form like a circle. And if you're old enough to remember that. You remember that? And when we take turns and we go in the circle and dance. And then go back to the circle.
I used to see that about
you remember that, Roy? Yeah. Off of Carolina. Trust me.
I'm going to get it for them.
See?
I love it. But I remember those though. I was a young one going up there and seeing that with my up by my grandparents. That's why you hear me talk about my grandparents so much. I used to relish them little times going up there.
Yo, come on.
And just learning.
Those are the greats. That's the story. These stories, I tell you, pass it down to you.
Trust me.
I love that. Trust me. I respect that.
At the end of the day, we just spoke about what we want them to grasp from Prince Busta. At the end of the day, when we're done,
But you know, there's a song you got to play before the end of the day.
Which one?
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm lining up Old Carolina.
My brother and my sister, my mother.
I'm gonna find
Prince
it right now.
Buster's first family, the royal family.
What's it called?
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine.
All right, I'm gonna pull that one up.
Because some people seem to think that Prince Buster original family are not around. I said, no. We are the first royal family.
Right.
There's a lot of folks out there wearing the names and acting like they are the real. No, they're imposters. They are not the bloodline.
Wow.
We are the true bloodline.
I'm gonna look that one up right now because we gotta drop that one.
Oh.
We gotta, and it's right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it. What album in Tutti Frutti?
You can sound right. Yes. We gotta defend our legacy and everything because there's a great legacy that we worked on since our babies coming up in the biz and everything, and we're gonna stand up and defend what's rightfully ours. And the song was made about 65, somewhere around there. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine, and they seem to think that they're not around.
But
by no means, we are right here in your face.
This thing says 1968, right? That's what it says. Now, how profound, and that's a word that we've been tossing around all afternoon, is it that right now you've mentioned that, okay, we got to establish this or reestablish, we got to put out there because people think. How profound can an artist, can a man be in 1968 to have come to the mental reasoning that I need to do a song called Danny, Dane, and Lorraine? Because maybe in 2018, they're going to need to play this song for the world to show exactly what the lineage
The true lineage. It goes back to
1968.
And I think it's before that too. Trust me.
That's the release.
Yeah. Before that, because it go back to my grandmother again. Let me explain to you.
Right.
My grandmother always said this to me. Said, Danny, before you're born, nothing.
Wow.
See, after you born, I was born 59 December.
Right.
It's in 1960. The next January.
Right.
Buster took off like a lightning rod.
Wow.
That's why my grandmother said what she said.
It's
and
you.
I am the catalyst behind that song.
Right.
By me coming into the world, my father life was 180 degree.
Wow.
And my grandmother never stopped saying it because she knew him as a little boy walking through Kingston with his friends and everything. Danny, ayo!
So that spark came.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to be selfish. I got to drop Danny, Dane, and Lorraine, all right? Let me drop for the masses. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is from the album Tutti Frutti. This is Prince Buster. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. These are three people in my life, and your mother to be my wife. Danny, Dane. I hope someday, their lucky day, things will come their way. And I hope and I pray for that faithful, wonderful day. Danny, Dane.
That song is Danny, Dane, and Lorraine. That one is Prince Buster, and that one, of course, is what we're talking about right now with Danny Buster. That's true, as we mentioned. That's vintage. That's the original. You can that's ska. That's not when we did the Rocksteady. You know what I mean? That's ska. So how profound and how prophetic. You know what I mean? Knowing that as an artist, I need to, because sometimes, again, I tell people all the time, as artists, we are but a vessel. You know, you're just a conjunction joining this to that.
Trust me.
You know, so it's like, let me put this recording out. Sometimes you don't know where it's coming from. I have a project I'm about to drop about my grandparents.
Good.
I wrote this and did that.
I applaud that already.
I love grandparents. And this was done 2 years before.
Listen, it's like you got piano, then you got grand piano, parents, grandparents. Oh.
Yo, people don't realize what grandparents are.
Oh man.
So that's something we're gonna drop later. But that song, as I listen to it and I'm listening to the words and I'm listening to it, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? This don't happen every day. This doesn't.
I'm fulfilled. The time has come. Listen.
Right.
I hope and I pray for that fateful, wonderful day.
Wow.
Things will come their way.
Right.
It's prophetic utterances.
That's today. That's what's happening right now. And big up, Lester.
Oh, the great Lester Skia Sterling. In my book, I consider him to be the Jamaican Charlie Parker. And of course, the legendary harmonica player, Mr. Charlie Algania, who came and performed with me at the big show in Pompano last Sunday. You made it back to Chicago well, my young man.
Love it.
We'll talk later. God bless. We see you in New York.
Charlie's a guy I need to sit down and talk to. It's a funny thing how music connect. Probably in the early 2000s, I watched a film. I bought a DVD called Love Jones.
He sang the soundtrack. Yeah.
I had and I'm sitting and I just, when you're watching a movie, that's one of my favorite movies. The movie's dope.
Yeah.
But something that stood out to me was that song and the Wild Hair, the live performance.
Yeah.
And then I went and found it, and that's how I connected with him. I really need to sit down and talk to Charlie because I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, man. Great, Charlie.
We spoke about, again, the Prince Buster legacy, right? Let the masses know what's going on with Sultan Ali right now.
Well, basically, I'm doing some recording, trying to finish up this album. We have some legal issues right now because there are vampires out there who's trying to get their hands on this catalogs, a whole bunch of vampires.
Right.
And we are here, and I'm here to protect our legacy and everything. So we're standing up. I've been doing tours and everything, recordings and interviews. Let them know we are Prince Buster Royal family. We are the original family, not just a royal family. We are the biological DNA family.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people out there wearing the Campbell and the Ali name,
right,
and they didn't come from the Prince Buster sperm.
I got you.
So the truth must be told, and we got to settle this thing sooner or later.
Right.
It's been up in the approximately 2 years since my father passed and everything.
Wow. Wow.
So
it's amazing how, music, you love music, the art of music and the creation of it and all that stuff. And there's always some point in time, something gets sullied by all this BS and this lack of ethics and everybody dipping in the pot once somebody's is gone. You know what I mean? Taking away the joy of sometimes you just want to go there and enjoy the legacy that is Prince Buster, but you got to deal with all this BS. So I say that to say, for all those who are doing it right now, as much as you can, get those affairs in order. Make sure certain things that there's no issues thereafter. None of us are going to be here forever. You know what I mean? So make sure that when we go, we put it's not about us, because most of what we do is never for us and by us. And the benefits of what Prince Buster's music, whether it be financially, whether it just be emotionally, spiritually, majority of that reward is going to come to his offspring, not necessarily him, because he was always in the trenches fighting the battle. So a lot of times you may think he's living the life and enjoying the fruits of the labor, but the truth is, no, he's in the midst of the fruits of the labor, preparing to do the work. So trenches. This is not in the trenches. Yeah. So this ain't for him. You know what I mean? So I say this for all the artists coming up right now. We don't know what's going to take off. We don't know what's going to blow. We don't know what's going to make the difference in our lives and so forth. But guess what? Do as much as you can to get it in order. Yes. Because them vampires that we talk about, they are there.
Oh, man.
And when you see one artist doing his thing, successfully or not, you look around and may see some people, and we use the word team. You know what I mean? We do need a team. But a lot of time, that team ain't really a team.
You got to vet. Trust me.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me.
They're sitting down waiting for. It's like a vice president that's just sitting on there waiting for the president for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To take. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we're here. We're talking to Mr. Danny Buster himself, aka Sultan Ali, son of Prince Buster, the only. Drop some social media info, some contact info for the master that need to reach you.
Yes, my website is called The Sultan of Ska. In England, they say ska. In Jamaica, we say ska. Saying the TheSultanofska.com. The Sultan of Ska. You can go to the https:// you know what it's all about. I'm on Facebook, son of Prince Buster, Danny Buster. Motherfucker, about 4 Facebook pages. Sultan of Ska, son of Prince Buster. Instagram, Sultan of Ska. Google, SOPB, son of Prince Buster. And Twitter, Sultan of Ska.
Nice.
Once you Google my name, everything comes up. Just put my name, everything comes up. Everything.
Reach out, ladies and gentlemen. Make the connect. All right, go directly to the source. You know.
All the stuff.
It's. I still keep saying this, man. It bugs me out that I missed that show. Bugs me because I know I missed something that just so much going on, but there's something that I really wanted to be a part of and see. But you know what? You're a young man. You'll be back.
Yeah,
You'll be back. You'll be back. Brother, on behalf of my listeners out there
Yes, sir.
and myself, I want to thank you so much for stopping through, dropping some knowledge, dropping some info with us. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me, because I met you on this, perusing through the social media, and I saw this young man doing this thing, and I just I like you, the way you enunciate. I like the articulation and just the charisma within your vocal tone and everything. And I said, this guy, he got something. I like it. I like
appreciate
it.
it.
Didn't know you from Adams, but I just like what I heard. It was clicking to my ears, and I reached out to you, and now I'm inside your studio.
We're here.
Trust
we
me,
had
it's-
some
it's
good
beautiful.
conversation on and off here.
Yeah, for a while.
I love it.
It was beautiful.
I love
Just
it.
keep doing what you're doing.
Will
You
do,
can
sir.
get bigger and better.
I
'Cause
appreciate it.
you've got what it takes. You got the charm. You've got the charisma, the enunciation,
I appreciate it.
the passion. Just keep doing it. It's going to get bigger and bigger.
Thank you,
You
sir.
got it. You got
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. And also thanks to Mr. Roy Sweetland, who's capturing the images in the back there.
Wow.
You
Thank
know?
you too, sir, my Fortis brother, KSC Fortis, City, non Fortis.
Always staying away from the microphone. But it's all good. One of these days we're gonna get you in front of the
you.
mic and somebody else has the camera. You know, because it's like the musician with the guitar, and sometimes that's why he hides behind the guitar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man, I can't sing, I'm playing.
Yeah.
So
Turn the table.
Yeah, sooner or later, yes.
we're gonna do what we gotta
Thank
do.
you. It's beautiful.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, Homegrown with G Cole. It is available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, all your podcast platforms. All right. And again, homegrownwithgcole.com for all things homegrown and to listen. Remember, be safe, be kind, be good to each other. My name is G Cole, and this is Homegrown.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G Cole.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Please click on the subscribe button below, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll keep you posted when new material is available. Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G Cole.